welcome back to my channel, Self Love Yoga. My name is Sam and I'm going to be teaching this balancing hip opening vinyasa flow. So you'll notice I'm not doing a voiceover today. My editing equipment broke, so I'm going to be talking through this video. So I hope the sound quality is okay for you. You can let me know in the comments whether this worked well or not. And yeah, if you like the video, please press that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate if you would pause the video and subscribe now. With that said, let's get started. So today's class, like I said, is going to be a balancing class, a little bit of balancing. I feel like we're going to balance our body and our mind today, and also a little bit of hip work and lower back. So we'll get started in a wide-legged child's pose. So you can come to the back of your mat, take your big toes to touch, take your knees as wide as is comfortable for you, perhaps as wide as your mat, a little closer if it is hard on your hips, and then taking your hands out in front, stretching your fingertips out. Your sit bones come to your heels and your forehead comes to the mat. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, we're just going to set up using our breath now. Inhaling deeply through the nose and opening the lips, letting a big sigh out of the mouth. A few more of these just to set up our practice, taking our minds and our bodies from the day that we've been in, or the morning or evening, and just transitioning into our yoga practice today. And as you inhale, just filling up the back body, and as you exhale through the mouth, just let it all go. Really soften the arms, soften everything, just relaxing in your child's pose. And beginning to inhale and exhale through the nose, perhaps connecting to your Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. And just focusing on your deep inhales and your slow, long exhales through the nose. When you're ready, we're going to leave the right arm stretched out in front, taking our left hand on the back of the palm and slide it underneath that right arm, coming down onto your left shoulder and your left cheek. We're doing a thread the needle pose in our child's pose. Stretching out the shoulders, top of the back. And again, you can close the eyes down here and just keep with your breath. Your right fingers are actively pushing away. So you're feeling into that stretch even more, pushing the sit bones to the heels, relaxing the back. Lovely, and then taking your left hand out from under your right, stretching both hands forward. Just taking a breath here again in child's pose. And then drawing that right hand back, coming onto the back of the right hand and coming underneath the left arm. You're coming down onto your right shoulder and right cheek. Press into those left fingertips, really push away with the left fingertips. And just taking a breath here. Lovely, and then sliding your right arm back out from under your left, Go ahead and stretch both arms forward again, just for a breath. Filling up the back body as you inhale and slowly exhaling through the nose. Lovely, and just making your way up. Now we're going to come into a tabletop position. So taking your hands, spreading your fingertips wide, your wrists are under your shoulders, and take your knees underneath your hips. Pressing actively into your hands, so we're not just dumping into the shoulders here, we're pressing up nice and active in our tabletop. And we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest for cat pose. Inhale to cow, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat, round through the spine, chin to chest. Take a few of these at your own time, your own breath, your own pace. Make any little movements that feel good as your cat-cow. And on your next inhale, coming back to your neutral spine. Pressing through the hands again into all of the fingertips. We're going to tuck those toes. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the knees just ever so slightly off of the mat, still pressing into our hands. Your gaze is looking down at your mat, using your breath. And exhale, release, just firing up through the core. This time we're going to spread our fingertips, and as you inhale, take a deep breath, keep those toes tucked, and as you exhale, we're going to lift those hips up and back into downward facing dog. Our first down dog of the day, so feel free to pedal through those heels, shake out the hips, whatever feels good here. Let it go. Exhaling deeply. Pressing through the fingertips. Hugging in the core. Take a deep inhale and a big exhale through the mouth. Big deep inhale, exhale, let it go. Your next inhale, we're going to roll forward to plank pose. Pressing up actively through the hands. And as you exhale, we're going to lower the knees and exhale the body down to the mat. When you arrive, roll those shoulders back, elbows draw in, inhale, squeeze into the glutes, lift up for cobra. Exhale, peel it back down. Inhale, lift into cobra. Keep it nice and low for the minute. And exhale, peel it back down. One last time, shoulder blades squeeze in. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Pedal into your down dog again. Settling in for some stillness. On your next inhale, bend into the knees, look forward, and step to the top of the mat. You're in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins, thighs, the ground, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Gaze between the thumbs. And exhale, hands to heart center. Going to take a couple of vinyasas now, just to warm the body up before we come into our little balancing sequence. So we'll inhale, arms sweep up, gaze looks between the thumbs, and exhale, dive forward over the legs. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the fingertips, step back with the right leg, lower the knee, untuck your toes. Inhale, low lunge. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, fingertips frame that front foot. Lifting up the back toes and stepping back into plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, coming into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Fold is your exhale. Inhale, flat back. Palms come to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Looking between your thumbs. And exhale, dive it down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back with your left foot, lower left knee. Inhale to rise into your low lunge. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Inhale, plant the palms, lift the back foot. Exhale, step it up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over. Exhale, palms to heart center. Take a minute now, we're going to come into Tadasana. So big toes together or feet just hip distance apart. Hands down by your sides, palms facing outwards. Inhale again, sweeping those arms up. Bend the knees, coming into chair pose. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping right foot back and then left, coming into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in your down dog. And as you exhale, coming back onto your knees, back into our tabletop pose. We're just going to start to work into the hips now. So pressing into all fingertips. On your next inhale, I want you to take your right knee and lift your leg up to the side, like a frog pose. Your foot is kind of coming out. Take a breath. Next inhale, keep your leg where it is and just raise your left hand off of the mat. Hug that lower belly in. Next exhale, palm places back on the mat and right leg comes behind you. Toes on the mat, pressing back with the heel. Giving ourselves a little calf stretch here. Turn that right foot now onto the side of the foot. And then lifting up with your right hand, we're coming into a modified plank. Pressing up through the left arm, reaching up through the right, lifting your hips. Inhale, and then exhale, drop that right hand. Walk the hands back. We're going to turn our left knee, framing to the front of the mat. And then we're going to point our right toes out, come on up, and then flex those right toes back. Take your right hand onto your right leg and inhale your left arm up and over into our gate pose. Taking a breath here. Feeling that lovely stretch down the left side body. And then exhale. Taking your hand back by your side, turning the right foot onto its side. You're going to take your right foot and bring it in. So you're kind of in this half kneeling pose. What I want you to do then is press into your right foot. Your hands can come to your heart center. Pressing into your right foot, taking your left foot up with you. Really draw your knee into your chest here, and I'm going to actually have to turn around to show you, so sorry, excuse me wobbling. Taking your left knee into the body, take an inhale, and as you exhale, take a hold of that left knee with your right arm, and exhale, the left arm turns back. Opening out into this left twist, your hips are facing the front of the mat. Inhale, palms come into prayer at heart center. Keep that left leg lifted, and as you exhale, bend into your right knee. Stretch that left leg back, toes are pointing down in your warrior three. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, bring left knee into the back of right knee. Bend into that right knee. Take your left leg out to the side on the edge of the foot, and then come to sit down onto your mat in this twisted position. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, take your right fingertips behind you onto the mat. Left arm can come on the inside of the right thigh. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, and exhale to twist. Every inhale, you're growing in length. Every exhale, just twisting a little deeper. And then exhale, release from your twist. Taking your fingertips out in front of you, we're pressing back up onto that right leg, bending, hands are back in prayer, coming back into our warrior three. And then slowly bend your right foot, place the left foot back behind you, opening the arms up, warrior two. Taking a moment in your warrior two, just making sure that your right knee is tracking out towards the little toe edge of the foot. And as you inhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Right forearm comes onto right thigh. Left arm raises up overhead. Take a breath here. And then inhale back into your warrior two. As you exhale now, we're going to turn on the back toes and lift the arms up, coming into your crescent lunge. And as you exhale, we're going to frame that front foot in a runner's lunge. Place your left hand on the ground and your right arm comes up for an easy twist. Exhale, take both palms on the inside of that right foot and just heel toe the right foot out to the edge of the mat in our lizard lunge. Pop up onto the fingertips. Shine your chest forward and just allow the left hip to sink down to the ground. Take a breath or two here, propping up, shining that heart forward. And then gently lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Leaving your left hand on the mat, take your right hand and just gently push out that right knee, coming onto the side of the right foot and gazing over the right shoulder. Connecting in with the breath. And as you exhale, releasing the right foot, releasing the right hands, untucking the back toes, and stepping that left foot up to the outside of your left hand, coming into this half squat. So just taking a few pulses here. If you wish, you can take an arm balance at this time, taking your arms behind you and coming into your arm balance in pose if you wish. You can also maybe take the arms forward, coming into crow. Just pause me and play around whatever you want to do here. If not, if you're following me, we're going to come into Malasana for a breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, press into those legs, standing right up, gaze between the thumbs. Exhale, palms to heart center. We'll heel toe the feet in. Sweeping the arms up on your inhale, and exhale, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga or the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment again, pedaling out the heels. Pressing into your fingertips. And as you exhale, coming back into your tabletop. So we're taking this little sequence to the other side. Setting up on your tabletop again, spreading your fingers, pressing into the ground. We're going to inhale. This time we're going to lift that left knee up to the side like a half frog. Taking a breath, and then when you're steady, lifting your right hand. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Place the palm down. And then stretch that left leg back behind you. Toes come to the mat. Heel points to the ground. Just take a few calf stretches here. And then turning the left sole of your foot onto its side. Going to take your left hand and pressing it up in the air for a modified plank. Really pressing through the right arm, lifting those hips up. Taking a breath. Breath. And then releasing the left palm, turning that right knee in towards the long side of the mat, taking your arms around and pressing up. So I'm actually going to turn around so you can see me coming into gate pose on the other side. So we're coming up onto our right knee, our left leg is out straight, left toes are flexed back towards us. You're stretching your left arm down along that left leg. Inhale the right arm up and over into your gate pose. Taking a breath here. Lovely. And coming on back up, we're going to take our left foot in beside our right knee. Take our palms to our chest. And then slowly press our way up to standing. Right knee comes into the chest. Again, I'm going to have to turn to the side to show you. Right knee comes into chest. Inhale, standing up nice and tall. And as you exhale, take a hold of your right knee with your left arm. Open your right arm back out behind you. Keeping your hips facing forward. Coming into our open twist. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, keeping the leg where it is, the palms come back into heart center. Inhale, and if you're falling or wobbling, just have a bit of fun. It's just a yoga pose. And as you exhale, stretch that right leg back behind you, coming onto right toes, coming into our warrior three. Inhale. And exhale, doing great. Inhaling again, taking the right knee to the back of the left, crossing that right leg outwards, and then coming to sit on the floor in your twisted position. If you didn't make it, just make your way down now. And as you inhale, we're going to take our left fingertips behind us, right hand on the outside of the left thigh, and taking a twist. Inhale to grow in length and exhale to twist a little deeper. Lovely, and then exhale, release. Taking your fingertips to the outside of your hips and making our way back up. Coming back with our right knee behind our left, then extending out for our warrior three. Don't worry if you're a bit wobbly, just play around. And then as you exhale, bend your left knee, step back with your right foot, coming into your warrior two. Spread those arms, gaze is over the left fingertips, tracking that left knee over towards the little toe side of the foot. Deep inhale, deep exhale, bending deeper into the front leg. And now as we inhale, we're going to flip the front palm and reverse our warrior. And as we exhale, coming into side angle. Reaching up to the corner of the room with those right fingertips, straight line from right heel to right fingertips. Inhale, warrior two. As you exhale, swivel on the back toes, arms come up into crescent lunge. Sit deep here. Exhale, palms come down to frame that front foot. And then you can keep your right palm on the ground and twist that left arm up for a runner's lunge twist. Inhale. Exhale, both palms to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe your left foot to the outside of the mat, slightly turned outwards. Then coming up onto the fingertips, shining the heart forward, perhaps giving a little rock on the back foot, allowing that right hip crease to come to the ground. And then coming onto the hands, lowering the back knee, untucking the toes. And as you inhale now, keep your right hand on the mat, take your left hand to left knee and just pushing that left knee out slightly, coming onto the left side of the foot. You can take your gaze over your left shoulder. Deep inhales. And exhale, release. Both hands on the mat, left palm is flat. Picking up your back toes, coming back up into lizard. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, stepping the right foot up to the outside of the right hand. You're coming into this little half squat again. And again, if you want to pause me, you can take your arm balance here. Or if you would like to do your crow, otherwise following me into Malasana. Taking a breath in here. One more inhale as you exhale, pushing up with the legs. Gaze is looking up. And as you exhale, release palms to heart center, heel toe your feet back into the center of the mat. And again, we'll inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, gaze between the thumbs. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop back to plank. Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra is your inhale. And downward facing dog is your exhale. Again, pedal it out, shake the hips. Taking a couple of breaths here in our down dog. Inhale. you exhale, we're going to widen the knees, big toes to touch. Coming back into our child's pose, stretch the arms out long. Taking our hands in prayer now. And as you exhale, I want you to bring the thumbs of your joined hands back to the base of the neck. So you're on your elbows. Just stretching into the triceps here. Give any little wiggles. And then settle in to stillness. Again, breathing into the back body. One more deep inhale. And exhale, release the hands, stretch them forward. Coming up onto the fingertips and walking them back towards the body. You can come to move into the center of your mat now. And we're going to come and sit onto our bottom, stretching those legs out in front. We're just going to open the quads a little bit. So taking your right leg, coming onto the top of your foot, so bending it back. Try to keep your knees quite close together here. Flex the left toes back towards you and begin to walk back, perhaps coming onto the elbows. And if this is enough for you, this is a good place to be. If you feel like you can open a bit more, come to lie on the back. Perhaps you stretch the arms up overhead. Just lengthening the quads. We're just here for a couple of breaths. Lovely. And then coming back up onto your forearms, walking your way back up. We're going to untuck that left foot and just place the foot onto the left thigh. Still flexing the left toes back towards you. We're inhaling the arms up, sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're just going to fold forward over that left leg any amount. You can grab onto the toes, the leg, the thigh, wherever you are, taking hold, keeping a nice length in the spine. You're hinging forward from the hips. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Coming to sit back up. I'm going to stretch both legs out long. Just point and flex the ankles. Perhaps give a few circles with the feet. Wiggle up the toes. And then we're going to keep our right leg stretched out. And this time we're going to take the left leg and fold it in. Coming onto the top of your left foot. Keeping your knees again quite close together. And then walking your way back down. Again, if you're coming to the forearms and this feels enough for you, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, come down onto your back. And if you want a deeper stretch, just taking your arms up overhead. Wherever you are, just trying to relax. Soften in the pose and just try to use your breath to focus on stretching that left quad muscle. Beautiful. Then if your arms are up, you can take your hands back by your sides, coming up onto your forearms, walking your hands back up. Just pausing for a second, and then you can untuck the left foot, placing it onto the right thigh. Flex those right toes back, sitting up nice and tall, and we'll inhale the arms up and over. And as you exhale, just leaning forward, coming from the hips, grabbing hold of the toes, the ankles or the shins, just taking a moment here. Inhaling nice and deep. And just exhaling to fold. And inhaling, coming back up. So stretch both legs out long again. Take a few wiggles of the toes, circles of the ankles. And then keeping the legs out long. You can keep a little bend in the knees here. We'll inhale, the arms come up, growing tall through the spine. And as you exhale, we're going to come to fold forward over the legs. Stretching through the lower back. We're just taking a moment here. Deep breaths, cooling down in our practice. Lovely. And coming to sit back up. You can take the soles of your feet onto your mat, and we're just going to make our way down onto our backs, nice and slow. We'll take a little bridge pose now. So you can take your heels quite close to your sit bones. Your feet are hip distance apart and your palms are on your mat. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the hips up, pressing into the feet, pressing into the glutes. And perhaps interlacing the hands, tucking the shoulders underneath one at a time. And just lift those hips a little higher. Using your breath. If you want to take wheel pose, feel free to do so. If not, and you're staying in bridge with me, just keep pressing into the feet, squeezing into the glute, the bum muscles. And as you exhale, release the hands and slowly lowering down to the mat. Lovely. We're going to take happy baby now. So drawing those knees into the chest. Take a hold of the outside of the feet and draw the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. So your knees are coming to your underarms. If this is not accessible, you can always just take hold of the back of your thighs. So your feet are quite wide apart. Take a few rocks on your lower back. And just actively try to press your lower back flat onto the mat. Very nice. And when you're ready, just hug those knees into the body. Again, rocking a little on the lower spine. And keep your knees now where they are, but take your arms out in a T shape. Or if you don't have enough room, you can cactus the arms and just allow the knees to fall towards the right. You can take your gaze to the left. Try to keep both shoulders on the ground, opening up through the underarms, the chest, the pecs. Taking a deep breath into your twist. Exhale, just soften everything, let it all go. And as you inhale, return your head to neutral. And draw those knees back in using your core. And this time we'll drop them over to the left. Take your gaze to the right. Again, trying to keep both shoulders on the ground. Close the eyes here and just feel into this twist. And on an inhale, take your gaze to neutral, draw those knees in, give the knees one last squeeze. And then make your way into a Shavasana if that's where you are going, if you have time in your practice today. If not, you can take a hold of your toes and just give a few rocks on the spine. Then making your way up to a seated position. If, like me, you have to get on with your day, you can meet me in your easy seat, get nice and comfy, sitting up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders back. We're going to inhale, Arms come up, sweeping up overhead. And as you exhale, bringing palms to heart center. I want to thank you today for practicing with me. And I hope you thank yourselves for taking this time out to practice, keeping your own practice, your own promises to yourself. Namaste. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a nice comment or a like. I would really appreciate that. And thank you so much again.